Joining me now to answer for their party, formerly with the Bernie Sanders campaign, Tezlyn, Figaro, and Democratic strategist Kevin Walling. Tezlyn, let me start with you. We ended the whole montage there with Mayor Pete, who declared victory. And what's crazy is people are going nuts. I mean, you talk about some of the tweets, hashtag Mayor Cheat, hashtag CIA Pete. Some are saying it's one of the apps that he used to help create this turmoil.
Yeah, I'll add in another one, hashtag Sneaky Pete. And people really have to question, it was Mayor Pete that first brought up the issue with the survey. A lot of folks are not covering that, connecting those dots. He brought the issues with quality concern with the survey. They didn't release that when Bernie Sanders was leading. Obviously, there is a lot of belief that Bernie Sanders is leading and winning in Iowa. So we find it really interesting that the time that poor Bernie Sanders is leading, once again, the establishment is having a hard time taking this L. So I'm going to go ahead and declare tomorrow as surrogate call-in sick day. Once we get those results at 5 o'clock, let's just go ahead, and a few surrogates may want to call in because they'll be dizzy and sick from all the spinning that they'll have to do tomorrow to not want to give Bernie Sanders this well-earned victory.
Well, Kevin, the spinning has already started, right? Amy Klobuchar's punched above her weight. Bernie won something. Biden said he won something. I mean, it seems like everyone's sort of declaring victory already. And to Tezlyn's point, with some of the changes over the weekend, it felt suspicious already. And I don't think you have to be a conspiracy theorist. I looked at some of the changes over the weekend thinking maybe they're trying to make it easier from Bloomberg, someone else, to punch out of Bernie Sanders. And then this. I mean, what do you make of it?
Yeah, Charles, I mean, there's certainly more questions than we have answers. We're going to get some kind of picture of this race result at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. But, of course, the Iowa Democratic Party is mostly mute when it comes to just the kind of results that they're going to release. It adds a lot of fuel to the fire in terms of, to Tezlyn's point, the Des Moines Register survey not going out on Sunday night, which is the bellwether of that state. Questions about that. And, of course, you had 4 years to get this right, and the Iowa Democratic Party really dropped the ball on this.
Where does the party go from here, Tezlyn? The spinning aside, everyone moved on to New Hampshire. That vote is next. But how do they overcome this? I mean, it's a public embarrassment, and it does reveal a fractured Democratic Party.
Yeah, and speaking to his point, yeah, the Democrat Party dropped the ball, but just to be honest, Vice President Biden dropped the ball as well. And because he dropped the ball, every ball possible, volleyball, baseball, football, tennis ball, every ball that he could possibly drop was dropped. And so now the party has to lean towards Michael Bloomberg, who's trying to get in this race at the last minute because he feels like it's a lost cause. So, we have to deal with some real issues. We had Vice President Joe Biden starting out, leading ahead, and now it appears we'll be going with a deficit. Maybe coming in fourth or fifth place. So I just don't know. It's fractured party. I think a lot of people want to see Joe Biden do well. Right. Just for clarity, I'm not loyal to any particular candidate. We want to see Democrats do well. And Joe Biden's campaign suffered greatly on the ground with strategy and with organization. And he was more focused on beating Trump, but forgot that he had to beat Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
He's been running in the general election since he announced. There's no doubt about that. Maybe putting the cart before the horse. Kevin, I know that there's the overall ethos, right, of the party. The glue is anyone but Trump. But it feels like even that may be coming apart, or it could come apart if some of these folks sniff out that things have been changed specifically to help perhaps the entrance of a Michael Bloomberg. And also there's a part of your party that has been railing against the notion of buying things where billionaires, have unlimited checkbooks and unlimited, status in this country.
Yeah, Charles, it's a great point. I mean, the process is playing out. I still think you see the vast majority of likely Democratic primary voters saying that their number one issue is who can defeat Donald Trump. You saw the Joe Biden campaign put out an ad campaign touting his polling data against the president. Of course, the vice president is still sitting very pretty when it comes to South Carolina, when it comes to Nevada, when it comes to national polling. I think that the Biden camp knew Iowa was going to be a struggle. Iowa brings out kind of the most energized base supporters because it is a caucus system rather than a straight primary vote. But I think the key takeaway is every state going forward needs to have a primary that's run by the state board of elections and not a state Democratic Party coming out of this.
All right. Well, if this is a hint of what's to come, Tezlyn and Kevin, I'll be calling you guys up once a week.
It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a wild ride,
It's going to buckle up, boys and girls. Thank you both very much.
I'm ready.
All right.
Thank you.